Back in 13th century, there was this Persian mathematician that was traveling around the country, and he visited many villages and cities, and he heard that one kingdom were in much trouble, and they were looking for people who could solve those problems. So he decided to visit there. He talked with the ministers of the king, and he solved successfully the problem that nobody could solve. And they were very impressed and very glad that he came to visit them. And they invited him to be their guest, to stay for a while in this country. So he stayed there, and the minister kept bringing him more problems, and Berenice kept solving them. So the minister were so impressed that they introduced Berenice to the king of this country. And the king also were very grateful and very impressed with the knowledge of Berenice. And one night, during the dinner time, he decided to show his appreciation by granting him any wish. He could wish anything, and he would be granting him. Berenice said, "Well, Your Majesty, during my traveling, I visit many villages and other towns and cities that were very poor. People were very hungry, and they were suffering for hunger. So I would like to ask you for grains of rice." "Oh yes, of course. How many sacks do you want?" Berenice looked at him and said, "I noticed that you are fond of playing chess." "Yes, I do love chess." "So, the chessboard has 64 squares. I would like to ask your ministers to place 1 grain of rice on the first square, then 2 on the second, 4 on the third, and so on, and keep double the number of the rice that was in that square before." The king looked at him and said, "Is that's so little? You sure you don't want anything else? I can give you gold. I can give you anything." Berenice looked at the king and said, "No, Your Majesty, that will be more than enough for me." So the king asked his ministers to do the math, and after a couple of hours or so, the minister came rush to the king. Your Majesty, we are in trouble." "Why? What happened?" "There is no way we can ever pay Berenice the amount of rice that he's asking for." "What? That cannot be possible. That's not too many of rice that he's asking for us. Are we poor? I cannot believe that." The minister looked at him and said, "No, Your Majesty. The amount of rice that Berenice is asking is a huge amount. Even after 10 years or 20 years of harvesting, we would not be able to pay him that much of rice." The king was very surprised and looked at Berenice and said, "Is that so?" Berenice smiled and said, "Yes, Your Majesty. By the time we get to that 64th square, that will be a huge astronomical amount of grains of rice." The king got a huge lesson of humility on that day, and he apologized Berenice for mocking him and not trusting his knowledge. And Berenice, of course, withdrew his wish. The king said that he would take care of those cities and villages that were in hunger, and he invited Berenice to be his personal advisor. And so he did. This story was written by Malbatahan, which is a pen name for a Brazilian writer and mathematician. His name is Júlio César de Mello e Souza, and Júlio César was born in Rio de Janeiro back in 1895, I believe. And the storyline, I am just sharing the storyline by heart, and that story I wanted to share with you as a reminder of how a very small start can lead to a huge result. Just by doubling 1, 2, 4, and then by the end it will be an astronomical number. And like so, today being the 31st of December, I would like to wish you that your days on 2021 be filled with love, peace, health, prosperity, and in the hope that you be centered to find the joy that you have in your heart already, and that those, all of them, can be multiplied and doubled each day. And then that you also can share all of those around you with your friends, your family, and everyone that is part of your life. With this wish, I think that we can start our laughter session. Shall we? Thank you so much for being here during this year. Thank you for your friendship, and I am very grateful for your kindness, your love, and the joy that you always bring to me every single day. Also, I would like to just talk about little things that it's very traditional for New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. So in Brazil, on the New Year's Eve, everyone wears something white to have peace coming during the New Year's. Women have a very fun thing about underwear. Women who wants more peace, they wear a new underwear of that color. Women who are wishing for romantic love, they wear pink underwear. If the women want more passionate love, so they buy something red underwear to wear it. Women who want some more money, they wear something green or gold. This is just something that it is out of a curiosity for you. Thank you again, and I wish you all a beautiful New Year's Eve and a fantastic New Year for you and your family and your friends. Thank you so much. Bye now. I'll see you tomorrow.